There is no reason petrol and diesel prices should be as stubbornly high as they still are. What we're seeing here is price gouging, nothing more. Classic rocket and feather economics, where the price rockets up, then floats back down slowly like a feather. And you know, I wish I could say that this tactic of exploiting a crisis, you know, a war, natural disaster, whatever it happens to be, I wish I could say that it was something new in order to gouge the customer, but it isn't. This kind of thing's been happening forever. I mean, I'll come on to fuel prices in just a moment, but to make my point, take this. So this is R134 refrigerant. And for the uninitiated, for the layman, this is the gas that your air conditioning system in your car is filled with. This is what causes cold air to come out your vents. Specifically, this gas is for 2016 and older cars. Newer cars use a newer gas. Keep that in mind as we step through this. That's an important detail. Now, the crisis that was used to drive up this gas's cost was environmental. The government decided that this refrigerant, it was too damaging. It caused too much global warming, and so they put supply limits in place. And what this done is it kind of engineered a scarcity. It gave those who held supply quotas control over the pricing, which is why we've watched this stuff take an absolute moonshot in cost over the last few years. You used to be able to pick this up, you know, buy one, get one half price deals, 15 quid deals. Now you're talking about £80 for a bottle of this size, £80 because of that engineered scarcity. It's effectively just another tax on running an older car. And if you don't like it, well, tough, buy a new car. That's kind of the whole point anyway. So how does this tie into petrol and diesel then? Well, I bring it up because it follows the exact same path. The theme is unmissable once you clock it. It goes crisis, price inflation in response to that crisis, then a new higher base price point is maintained from then on. The crisis when it comes to fuel is, of course, you know, this conflict in the Middle East. You probably noticed back in March, April kind of time, petrol prices shot to what, 160 a litre? Diesel was like 189 a litre, but fair enough. The increase was somewhat justifiable because crude oil had taken a massive jump in cost. And, you know, crude oil, by the way, if you're not familiar with that, that is the raw material from which petrol and diesel is refined. It therefore has a massive influence on what we pay at the pumps as consumers. So back in April, a barrel of crude oil, it was pushing about $110. It's also all measured in dollars. Usually it trades at about $60, $65, so it almost doubled, which is why we were seeing fuel costs which were sickening. However, as we sit here today, a barrel of crude is back at about $70 and is steadily coming down. Might even be $69, $68 at this point. That is a 36% drop since April. Or to put it another way, it's very nearly back where it was pre-war. So you'd expect pump prices to have seen a similar drop? No. I intentionally drove past 3 petrol stations on my way to the garage this morning. And, you know, I didn't pick these out as the highest priced in the area or anything like that. And they were all hovering right around 156, 157 a litre. Very nearly what it was during that crude oil peak. And I tell you what, each forecourt, packed, rows of cars waiting to fuel up. What's happening here is certain retailers are milking it. They're milking the higher prices for as long as they possibly can. Where before, as I say, it was somewhat justifiable because of the high cost of crude oil. Now what you're paying is effectively an inflated margin. So don't do it. Refuse. And look, I've been guilty in the past. We probably all have. Of being in a forecourt, knowing the price is a little higher, but you think, I'll just put 20, 30 quid in, get me by. But we really shouldn't do that because it sends a message that we are willing to tolerate these inflated margins, these inflated prices for no good reason. Force them to bring it down by refusing to buy overpriced fuel. And don't get me wrong, some of them are bringing it down. Some of them are being transparent. There's a local one to me on Main Street. Okay, you know, it's a small town that I'm in here, but they're back into the 130s for fuel at this point, which is way more reflective of that crude oil price drop. Let me leave you with this, right? I'll leave you with this thought. Remember earlier when we were talking about AC gas? I said an important detail was that it only affects older cars, which it does, pre-17 gas for pre-17 cars. The government's response to that price hike was nothing. In fact, they engineered it. It's working as intended to get people moved out of their old cars and into something new. For fuel, the response to this price gouging, again, is nothing that directly forces margins down. I mean, sure, they say they're monitoring it. We've seen that freeze on fuel duty. They've published lists of cheaper stations, but nothing that is directly forcing retailers to abandon these massively inflated margins. We're not seeing margin caps. We're not seeing, them force wholesale price reductions through to the consumer. Nothing like that. Instead, they're effectively just monitoring it. Now compare that to when electricity prices were threatened by the Russian conflict back in 2022. They sprung into action. They provided subsidies. They reduced what consumers were having to pay until the price stabilised again. Why? Well, conveniently, it protected the very energy source that they were trying to convince people to switch to for their cars: electricity. Allowing energy prices to rise at that point, even legitimately, not price gouging like this, would have had an undeniable knock-on effect on electric vehicle sales figures, and they wouldn't have that. What I'm getting at here is there is a complete inequality in the way that a crisis is handled, depending on if that crisis plays for or against the current agenda. Unfortunately for us who run older cars, we're often in the opposing team. From aircon to fuel and whatever else. Don't even get me started on engine oil. We'll leave that one for another video. Now, if you've sat through this video, it stands to reason you probably run an older car yourself. You're probably buying and selling older cars occasionally. So something worth bearing in mind. Our channel sponsor, Vehicle Score, provide 20% off all their HPI checks to our channel viewers. Now, this will tell you if a car that you're thinking about buying has got any skeletons in its closet, hidden written off crash damage, hidden finance, that kind of thing. So please do make use of their service. I'll add a link in the description below. Do let me know in the comments section below, what is the most ludicrous pricing that you've seen nearby you lately? Keep hitting like, keep hitting subscribe. I'll see you in a few days' time. Take care, folks.